All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time, 9:30 p.m. Wednesday night. Welcome to the Xtreme Racing League's XNA Division, Round 8, coming to you live from Spain. We're going to get started in just a few minutes' time here. I just wanted to give you a real quick grid rundown. In tonight's race, we have Ryan Hurricane, XRL Zola, LV6 Beastian, Waddington, Drawn Captain 69, XRL Mon, XRL Low, Young Maneuver, Higgs, XRL Urtica, Botched Gerbil, Calzoner, Rush 400, Fat Wardo 10. As I said, we'll be getting started here in just a few moments' time. If you haven't done so already, if you're a first-time viewer of the stream, could I get you to do me a favor, and that is to go ahead and give the Extremer League's Twitch a like and a follow. It's help keep you aware. And once you follow us on Twitch, you'll also be able to see our other social media streams. You can go ahead and give those a like and follow as well. That way you can stay up to date on everything that's going on with the Extreme Racing Leagues. Tonight's race is going to be an 18-minute short qualifying, 50% race distance. The cars are equal performance, vehicle damage full, dynamic weather. Could be a possibility of catching some rain tonight. We're not quite sure what the forecast is going to have in store. Also, an update to our race lobby, we have Smooth E25 is joining us. We're projected to have 16 drivers on the grid tonight. And let's see if I can pull up a couple interesting facts about the circuits for you. The Spanish Grand Prix is actually one of the oldest circuits in the world. It's been in existence for 100 years, and the Spanish Grand Prix had some pretty modest beginnings as originally a production car race. When World War One kicked off, the Spanish Grand Prix was interrupted, and it would actually be a decade before the second running, becoming a staple of the European calendar. In 1927, it was part of the World Manufacturers Championship. It was promoted to European Championship in 1935 before the Spanish Civil War brought an end to racing. The Spanish Grand Prix was, however, revived in 1967 and has been a regular part of the Formula One World Championship since 1968 at a variety of different venues, finally finding its home in 2007 at the Circuit Barcelona, Catalonia. We'll be beginning in just a few moments' time, as I do see drivers beginning to ready up as we have hit that time for the start of qualifying. I'd also like to give a really quick shout out to our sponsors. Those being One Tap. One Tap develops custom liveries for Assetto Corsa. They also do stream overlays for Twitch, as well as a variety of other streaming platforms. I'd also like to give a quick shout out to Ants 3D that does custom 3D printed wheels and accessories for the Logitech Thrustmaster, as well as a number of other, as well as another. I'm sorry, another a number of other wheels. I'm getting my words mixed up tonight. I do apologize for that. And Radicus, yes, I am in the booth tonight. It's been quite a while. Looking forward to getting back in the mix with XRL. And ladies and gentlemen, we have started qualifying. This session of qualifying running 18 minutes in duration. Looking to see who's going to be the first one to come out on track. And it looks like XRLO is going to be the first one to start an outlap in the Haas. We're going to go ahead and ride on board with him. And we're getting the word from race control that we will have a dry qualification with rain projected to come at the end of the race. That's definitely going to be a challenge for these drivers as they go into the phase of selecting what setup they'll run for the race. Rain again definitely playing a factor as XRLO starts his outlap. We also have Higgs coming out, the other Haas driver running tonight, starting his outlap as well. And we also have Drawn Captain 69, new to the XNA in the AlphaTauri. We're going to see what he's able to put together. Right, and a lot of these drivers, save for four, opting to come out initially on the soft tire compound with Fat Wardo, XRL Mon, Calzoner, and XRL Low coming out on the medium compound. And we see that XRL Low has now started his flying lap. So far looking pretty good as he transits through Sector 3 into the chicane. And that is going to bring him across the line with a qualifying time of 117.084, which is going to put him in P1, moving down to Higgs in Sector 2, looking very smooth as he transits through now on his hot lap as well. Looking very smooth as Higgs starts making his transition through Sector 3. A little bit of a lock up there as he transits through. We have a yellow flag in Sector 2. Appears to be one of the AlphaTauris has come off, and Higgs is gonna post a I believe he actually invalidated that lap. So we're going to go ahead and jump over to Waddington in the Alfa Romeo. Looks to have the makings of a very strong lap going on so far. Also coming out onto the track, we have XRL Mon. XRL Urtica and Fat Wardo starting their outlaps as well. Drawn Captain is going to come across with a 119.770, good enough for P2. Following Urtica on his outlap, very closely followed by XRL Mon in the other McLaren. Looks to be giving his teammate a bit of a tow. Right, and seems that he's going to let Mon go ahead and take the lead. We'll see what's happening here with them. Mon opting to run the medium tire compound in Q1. Most drivers opting for the soft tire compound. And Mon is going to come across with a very impressive 116.887, which is going to catapult him onto pole for qualifying. Waddington showing up on the board with a 120.133. Higgs showing up a 117.217 to hold on to P3. Be interesting to see Urtica's lap once he comes around. Also keeping an eye on Fat Wardo. A little bit of a lockup from Wardo as he begins to make the move into Sector 2. And LV6 has now come out of the pits in the pit lane in the Ferrari, starting his outlap. We have a yellow flag in Sector 3. See if we can get a line on who that is. Oh, and it looks like Higgs has struck the pit wall, sustained wing damage. He's going to go ahead and limp that damaged machine back into the pits. And Fat Wardo's now come across with a 116.452, good enough to catapult him into pole position. Right, we have a yellow flag in Sector 1 and 2. Okay, Smooth Calzone, Beastian, and Botch Gerbil now on their outlaps as well. Rush 400 starting an outlap. Looks to be giving his teammate Smooth a tow as well. We have a yellow flag in Sector 3, and LV6 has spun that McLaren around. Not quite sure what happened. We just make sure that see that there was a Haas transiting through there. Looks to be the Haas belonging to. I'm sorry, that was not the Haas. That was and LV6 is off again. Not quite sure what's going on there. See if we can get that sorted for you. Coming on to Waddington here. Looks like he had the back end step out on him momentarily in Sector 2 as he tries to better that 119.6 that he had posted previously. Jumping on board with him real quick. And Fat Wardo now posting a 115.825, which is going to even more cement his position on pole. Zola now starting his outlap in the Williams. Zola looking for Ryan to peel off here at the last possible second, as he does as Zola starts his hot lap. All right, LV6 now showing up with a qualifying time of 139.875. Considering the problems he's had so far, it is a good sign that he is in the that he was able to post a time. Zola looks like he had a little bit of a squabble in the back end as he makes the transition into the fast right-hander. Rush yielding the track to him. Another driver, not quite sure who that was, looked to be the machine of Botched Gerbil, as Zola does post a purple sector too. Zola looking very good as he makes the transition through. I'm looking for about a 114, 115 from him, and it looks like we're going to get a 116.939, which is going to be good enough to put Zola into P5. LV6 now posting a 118.923. Waddington with a 119.504. Drawn Captain with a 119.770. Botched Gerbil with a 133.519, dropping him down into P11. Rush had previously posted a 116.030. Fat Water with a 115.825. Riding on board with Young Maneuver, who's currently holding on to a 117.054. And I see Radicus says, when you say LV6, it sounds like he's a Druid. Well, this is not the Druid you're looking for. Alright, with just over 5 minutes to go in qualifying, we still have Jazilo, Smooth, Calzone, and Ryan Hurricane yet to post a lap. And Young Maneuver not able to, on this initial lap, to better that 117.054. We're going to drop down and follow XRL Low in the Haas as he tries to better that 117.084 to put him in a better position for the start of this race. Waddington starting another outlap, looking to improve that 119.504. Calzone now jumping up into P3 with a 116.086, trying to put himself in a position to challenge Rush. Higgs now. Looks like we have Calzone, and Calzone is off after the fast right-hander in sector 2. Looks like he may have had a little bit of a squabble in the back end. Looks like there was another incident on track. Trying to locate that, see what might have happened. Calzone now back underway as he's going to bring that Renault into the pit lane, assess any possible damage. I don't think that given the time constraints with 3 minutes remaining in qualifying, that he's going to make another attempt, and he's going to want to hold on to that 116.086. Oh, and Smooth is going to go ahead and lock in his 117.804. And Zola looking to better that 116.939. Waddington now posting a 115.752, which is going to knock Fat Wardo off of pole position, moving him down to P2, Rush down to P3, and Jazilo's now posted a 115.994, knocking both Rush and Calzone out of the top 3 podium positions. Looking like Zola having some momentary difficulties on the throttle, as the best he's going to manage for this lap is a 119. He's still holding on to the top 10. And Radicus, I do see your correction in the comments. It's all good. He is not the droid you're looking for. And Ryan Hurricane holding on to P5 with a 116.055, giving his teammate Zola a little bit of a slingshot effect as we come around. Slight squabble in the back end. And Waddington has retired from the session, confident that that 115.752 is going to be enough to hold on to pole position with less than 30 seconds remaining in the session. Botch Gerbil has retired at P16 with a 133.519. Smooth with a 117.804. Young Maneuver now retiring with a 117.054 as we follow Zola on this lap. Rush now posting a 115.655. Zola opting to bail out of the lap and bring it into the pit lane. Lowe now retiring with a 117.084. Remaining drivers out on track. We have Jazilo, Ryan Hurricane retiring with a 116.055, good enough for P5. Following Jazilo, Jazilo's got the potential to, if he can shave about 3/10 off his time, 2.5 tenths, he's got the potential to knock Rush out of pole. It's not going to happen as he opts to come back into the pit lane. Calzone potentially making a run, slight lockup. Okay, Calzone putting the power down nicely. And Calzone not able to better that time, and Mon now coming with a 115.485, shaving some tenths off to get there. And ladies and gentlemen, Rush now coming into the pit lane, and that is going to do it for our qualifying session. And I see now where Zola was saying. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we are expecting a little bit of rain for the back half of this race. Hard telling if the rain will start falling. It's a wait and see at this point. Quick rundown of the grid. We have starting on pole. We have XRL Mon. Rush 400 on P2. Starting row 2, Waddington Fat Wardo. Starting row 3, Jazilo Ryan Hurricane. Row 4, Calzone and Urtica. Row 5, Zola and Young Maneuver. Row 6, XRL Low and Higgs. Row 7, Smooth and LV6 Beastian. And row 8, we're going to have Drawn Captain 69 and Botched Gerbil. We are a mere 5 minutes away from this race start, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and then we will be right back with the action. And again, you're watching Xtreme Racing Leagues on Twitch. If you haven't done so already, give us a like and follow, as well as our Instagram and other social media accounts. Projections for rain really quickly. It'll either rain in the first third, about the first 12 laps, or the closing laps of this race. It's one of those unknowns. We don't know what's going to happen. We know whatever does happen, it'll definitely make for an exciting race. We'll be back in just a few moments' time. And again, just a quick reminder for those of you that are just now joining the stream. Make sure you check out our sponsors, One Tap, um, Ants 3D, and CD Keys as well. I apologize, I failed to mention CD Keys earlier, but go ahead and check them out. Show them some love. They show us love. That's the least we can do. This race getting ready to get underway in just a few moments' time. And CD keys as well. I apologize, I failed to mention CD keys earlier, but go ahead and check them out. Show them some love. They show us love. That's the least we can do. This race getting ready to get underway in just a few moments' time. I'm going to go ahead and make some preemptive predictions for the result of tonight's race. Based on what I've seen in practice, I'm looking for one of about three people to come away as our potential race winner. I'm going with XRL Zola, uh, Waddington, or drawn captain. Even being a newcomer to the league, has shown some very good racecraft. Very disciplined driver. I'd look for him to have a strong finish. If not, bring home the pole. And thank you very much, Radicus. I know I'm husky and beautiful. And let's not discount botched gerbil as well. And now getting the word from race control that we have 30 seconds before the session starts. We get underway, and then it'll be lights out, and away we go. And Rush 400 could be another strong possibility for tonight's race winner. At this point, with Spain being as challenging of a track as it is, this could potentially anyone could come away with. But that's if I had to make any predictions, it would be one of those five. All right, and it is lights out, and away we go. Mon getting away with a very clean start, pulling out to an early lead. Oh, we have kind of have contact between one of the racing points and one of the Mercedes. Looks to be the racing point of Jazilo. Had some contact made. Mon pulling out to a 5/10 of a second lead over Anthony Waddington. Rush half a second behind him. Calzone and Fat Wardo exchanging positions. Fat Wardo now coming up into P4. Calzone dropping back to P5, and they're battling back and forth. Primary battle going on at the moment. Ertica and Lowe now exchanging positions for P8 and P9. Zola hot on his heels to try to take away P8 from him. Smooth and Botched Gerbil battling for 12th and 13th. Dropping back to P11 with Young Maneuver and XRL Low. Young Maneuver right on Low's gearbox, just giving him a little bit of a nudge, letting him know he's there. Could see a potential move on the inside coming into the chicane here, but Young Maneuver opting instead to tuck in behind him. A little bit of a lock up there by Low. XRL Mon posting the fastest lap of the race so far with a 122.214. Coming back up to the front of the field. Waddington looking to make Waddington right on the gearbox of Mon. Could see a potential move here. Very clean racing from these two drivers. Waddington appearing to go for the move on the outside, and he's going to have him for P1. All right, and predicted pit stop strategy for this race is going to be a two-stop, soft to medium between laps 6 and 8. Potential second set of mediums, lap 20 to 22. Dropping back into the field, keeping an eye on that battle between Botched Gerbil and Young Maneuver and XRL Low as well. These three drivers battling for P10. Low taking a little bit wider line through there than what he normally does. Botched looking, biding his time to make that move. He's going to swing out to the left-hand side. Young Maneuver keeping pace, and Young Maneuver is going to shut the door on him in very dramatic fashion. That little squabble between the two of them, giving Lowe an opportunity to create a little bit of distance. Not much as these three drivers taking very tight yet very aggressive lines. A little bit of a lock up there by Lowe. Botched is going to come on the inside, going wheel to wheel with Young Maneuver. field starting to spread out just a bit, though, as Waddington pulling out 77 tenths. Lowe going a little bit wide. And Young Maneuver thought about that move on the inside for just a moment. Not quite sure why he backed out, but it's probably for the better. Waddington now posting a 120.059. So we're gonna go back, go ahead and rejoin the action between these two drivers. Mon biding his time, looking for that opportunity, looking for any mistake from Waddington that's going to allow him to close that gap. That battle between Botched Gerbil, Young Maneuver, and XRL Lowe still ongoing. Smooth looking for an avenue to get into that mix, as he's now slowly starting to close in on Botched Gerbil in P12. Smooth looking to come away with some points. These drivers very tightly grouped, and it's looking like Young Maneuver has now overtaken Lowe. Lowe gonna fight to get that position back. Young Maneuver is not gonna give that position up easily, as he takes a very, very clean line through the sector 3 chicane, really pouring on the power. But Lowe is gonna have DRS. He's got the run on him, DRS and overtake. Botched Gerbil right on Lowe's gearbox. This battle for P10 really starting to heat up, as Watto has pulled out to a 7/10 lead. Botched Gerbil taking the inside line. Nearly contact between Botched Gerbil and XRLO. Into a little bit of tire contact there. We're going to drop back and follow. Follow them a little bit. Very, very, very close between these two drivers. Lowe getting all over Botched Gerbil's gearbox as he tries desperately to get that position back. Oh, and out of nowhere comes Smooth, but Lowe's gonna go ahead and get the switch back on him. So Smooth was only able to hold on to that position for just a moment, just the briefest of moments. But I feel like Smooth isn't gonna let that pass. He's gonna continue to look for opportunities to put pressure on Lowe to go ahead and take that position. Now coming up to P7, XRL Jazilo against Ryan Hurricane, closing to within 0.3 of a second, taking a little bit wider line, momentarily going off track. All right, welcome Race Division to our live stream. This is Xtreme Racing League's XNA Division. Rush 400 now picking up a 3-second time penalty in P3. Race Division, feel free to give us a like and follow, so you can stay tuned and stay aware to all that goes on in the Xtreme Racing Leagues. Right now, you're watching the Xtreme Racing League's North American Division, and Fat Wardo's around. Not quite sure what happened. Looks like the back end slipped out on him. Coming up in P4, Calzone looking to make a move on Rush 400. And Rush looking to make a move on Mon, closing to within 0.3, taking a very tight line. Little bit of a lockup. He's got to be careful that he doesn't flat spot those tires. Rush very slowly whittling that gap on XRL Mon for P2. Back end steps out momentarily for XRL Mon, giving Rush an opportunity to make up some time. And we have a yellow flag in Sector 1, and that looks like that's going to be the McLaren of Higgs. Not quite sure what happened there. Botched Gerbil looking to put some pressure on XRL Zola, and Botched Gerbil now posting the fastest lap of 119.172. Botched getting all over the gearbox of XRL Zola, putting a little bit of pressure on him. Botched is going to swing to the outside and looks to be making an aggressive move through the fast right-hander, and Botched is going to take away P9 from XRL Zola. Fat Wardo ahead of him, slight lockup. Rush now making a move on Mon for P2, and he's going to get it, and rapidly closing that gap on Waddington. Calzone hanging back in P4, getting ready to make a move on Mon. Not quite sure what happened to Mon. He's fallen back a position, looking to fall back another here momentarily. As Calzone's going to open up overtake on him, swing out to the left, and he's going to overtake him for P3. Have a nice little train working for P1 through P6. This race definitely starting to heat up, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to lap 9 of this 33-lap affair, and Higgs now picking up a 3-second time penalty. Ryan Hurricane now looking to challenge XRL Mon for P4. Botched Gerbil moving into a position to challenge his teammate, Fat Wardo, and XRL Zola has picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Alright, and Fat Wardo is going to dive into the pits. Botched Gerbil now taking P8. We're going to take a look here. XRL Mon and Fat Wardo opting to go on to fresh sets of mediums. Rush 400 trying to whittle down that gap against Waddington to stay with him. Dropping back into P5, Jazilo hanging back, waiting for his opportunity to make a move on Ryan Hurricane. Very shortly, we're going to see a lot of these drivers start diving into the pit lane for their tire changes. Virtually the entire field, with the exception of 3 drivers, are all on the medium compound. Botched Gerbil now posting the fastest lap with a 118.764. Fat Wardo now looking to make a move on Drawn Captain 69 for P12. Drawn Captain on 9-lap-old mediums versus Fat Wardo coming out on a fresh set of mediums. He's going to pull out to the right-hand side, and he's going to get the overtake for P12. Mon not far behind, looking to make a move on Fatwarda. And Baked Potato Dan, I see your question in the stream whether that's a bug or they're purposely hitting the limiter. That's been a bug since F1 2020 F1 2020 has been released. Still haven't seen a patch that addresses that. We're looking to see a fix for that in F1 2021, which, for those of you that aren't aware, will be releasing in July of this year. All right, coming up to the fight for pole. We've got Waddington in the lead, Rush 400 3/10 behind, and Calzoner 5/10 behind him. That's our closest fight on track at the moment until we come back here to P10 for the fight between Mon and Smooth. Smooth now dropping back almost a full second, and we have a yellow flag in Sector 1 and Sector 2. It looks like Beastian may have been involved in that. May have been involved in a little bit of a dust up. Ryan Hurricane now looking to get involved in that fight. For the podium. And I'd like to take a moment to welcome our league owner, XRO Lopez, who has joined the stream. Pleasure to have you with us tonight. Looking forward to an absolutely outstanding race. All right, we now see that Rush, Calzone, and Mon have all just come out of the pits. Jazilo coming in. Jazilo switching over to the hard tire compound. Rush opting to stay on the medium compound, as well as Calzoner. And Jazilo has picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Closest fight on track right now looks to be the fight for P8 between Rush and Calzoner. Calzoner trailing Rush by 5/10 of a second. A little bit of a lockup on the part of Rush here now as the space is coming out, and Higsby is out. Higsby is out. Not quite sure where he went off. That could potentially be. It could potentially bring out a safety car, which we have not seen as of yet, as we now enter lap 13 of this 33-lap affair. And Jeebus John, welcome to the stream. For those of you just joining the stream that have not already done so, feel free to check out our sponsors. One Tap, who does custom liveries for Assetto Corsa, as well as a number of other racing titles. We also have Ants 3D, who does 3D printed wheels and accessories for the Logitech and Thrustmaster lines. And Mon is off. And Lowe has a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. It's possible that Mon may have sustained a little, and Mon is off again. Looks like he may have potentially sustained a little bit of wing damage. Rush 400 now obtaining a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We're going to go ahead and take a real quick look at accrued time penalties thus far. We have Rush 400 with 6 seconds of time penalties, Jazilo with 3 seconds of time penalties, Zola and Lowe also with 3 seconds of time penalties. Our closest fight on track right now looking to be the fight between XRL Zola and Drawn Captain, almost contact between these two drivers. The slight tire-to-tire contact enough to momentarily unsettle Zola, but he very skillfully recovers that Williams racing machine. And we now see Mon coming into the pits on the assumption that he's got wing damage. He's going to pit to get the pit and get that fixed. Coming back up to the fight for the podium, we have Rush in P3, trailing Calzone by 0.6 of a second. Botch Gerbil now opening up a commanding lead on Calzone of almost 11 seconds. Waddington has now dropped back into P4, trailing Rush and Calzone. And I see now that Higgs retired due to a technical issue. Calzone now posting a 118.151. Closest fight on the track at the moment is going to be the fight between Rush 400 and Waddington for P3. Looks like Drawn Captain and Mon are battle for position here. Low getting a good exit, trying to get a run on Drawn Captain. Right on his gearbox as they make the transition into Sector 3. Oh, Drawn going significantly wide, and that's going to open the door for Low to come up into P13. Very nicely executed move, seeing the mistake by Drawn Captain and capitalizing on it. Waddington continuing to apply pressure to Rush in P4. Looks like he's got the DRS run on him. Doesn't have quite enough space to make the move, so he's going to go ahead and hang back. Rush trying to outbrake him. Slight lockup. Ladies and gentlemen, we're starting to see the skies darken here at Barcelona. It could be an indication that at any moment that rain is going to go ahead and start falling. Waddington late braking into turn one, trying to close that gap between him and Rush, hoping to shave enough time off at the next time, or that potentially the next time around we could see him make a significant run at Rush to overtake him for P3. However, with these little lockups that Rush is continuing to make in Sector 2, we could potentially see the move happen before that time. Waddington, a very disciplined driver, knows when to make the move, when not to make the move. It'll be interesting to see what he's going to do. And Mon has now picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We're going to follow botched gerbil here for a moment, running on those 19 lap old hard tire compound. It looks like he might be starting to see some significant degradation in those tires. It's going to force a pit stop, possibly a position change, as we now enter lap 21 with just 12 laps to go in this in what's shaping up to be a very, very interesting race. And it looks like Rush has now made the move on Calzone for P2. Calzone not looking to let that slide, and Waddington all over Calzone's gearbox. Waddington continuing to apply pressure. And I want to take a moment to thank Caesar for his comment on the comms. It's been quite a while since I've had an opportunity to get into the commentary booth. It's a pleasure that I've been given the opportunity to do it for XRL tonight. So thank you again very much for that. I look forward to doing it in the future. Now, staying on this fight with Watto, he's now close to 0.2 of a second, continuing to put pressure on Calzoner, as Calzoner is also doing the same to Rush, looking to unseat him from P2. So far, Botched Gerbil looks like he's running away with this, but that can all change in a single pit stop, as Rush has now closed that interval to 9.5 seconds. I'm anticipating that once Botch does pit in, we will have a new race leader. Calzone with a slight lock up there as he gets all over the gearbox of Rush. Rush milking every ounce of speed that he can out of that Red Bull in an effort to hold Calzone off, as Calzone is trying to do the same thing with Watto. Watto has a slight front end swabble. And the big question now is he close enough to make the overtake? Calzone's going to pull out and make the overtake, which opens the door for contact between Rush and Watto. Looks like Watto was trying for a move. Rush very forcibly shutting the door on him. Watto considers the inside move there for a second, and I think he's gonna opt to go for the outside move here. Does he have enough to hold it off? And he's gonna get the overtake on Rush, which is gonna cement him into P3 as we now see the first raindrops starting to fall, expecting these drivers, and drawn captain is off. As we see the raindrops starting to fall, anticipating that these drivers are going to pit in and switch over to the intermediate compound. That's spelling very bad news for Botched Gerbil, as soon as he pits in. I'm anticipating that Calzone, Watto, and Rush are going to stay out in an effort to try to run away with this. Calzone staying out. Watto pouring on the DRS and overtake. He's going to break out to the left-hand side, and he's going to come up into P2. A little bit of a gap starting to form between Watto and Calzone. Now Rush has now dropped back to a full second behind Calzone. I'm wondering if he might not have sustained a little bit of wing damage in that earlier squabble, and Drawn Captain has now gotten a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Only one driver so far has opted to go to the intermediate compound, and that's going to be Gisilo back here in P10. As we monitor that time interval between Waddington and Botched Gerbil, we're seeing the first indications of those hards that Botched has run on for 23 laps may be starting to die off in comparison to Waddington's 9-lap-old medium. So I'm anticipating that Botched is almost certainly going to have to pit here within the next couple laps as this rain continues to come down. We're not seeing any significant dampness on the track as of yet, but with 8 laps to go, as this rain continues to fall, we will see track conditions begin to steadily worsen. We have a yellow flag in Sector 2. It looks like Young Maneuver may have come off. Not entirely certain. And XRL Low now coming on to that intermediate tire compound, as along with Gisilo. Waddington now closing that gap to 6 seconds on Botched Gerbil. It's going to be interesting to see what Botched is going to do, as that rain now coming down harder. Botched started to get into lap traffic. Gisilo coming in. Smooth has now switched over to the intermediate tire compound. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it is very possible that that Botched may be putting it all on the line and trying to go the remaining 6 laps on the hard tire compound. Very risky move on his part, as we see Waddington back in P2, steadily closing that gap on him. That gap now down to a scant 4.1 seconds, as is that hard tire compound on the Mercedes just continuing to die off, and just lap over lap. Waddington now closing that gap down to just over 3 seconds. And smooth yielding the racing line to Waddington as lap traffic, and we have a yellow flag in sector 2. All right, and just five laps to go as we're now entering lap 27. Botched passing slower traffic. Waddington now closing that gap to 2.5 seconds as he works his way through lap traffic to try to take a shot at Botched Gerbil here. This race heating up. Both Botched and Watto being one of my 2 predictions to come away as the race winner. Calzoner dropping back now 4.1 seconds behind Watto. Rush 0.5 of a second behind Calzoner. Rush looking to secure a podium position and knock Calzoner out of contention. Ladies and gentlemen, this is coming down to a matter of who wants this more. We have a host of extremely talented drivers all vying for those coveted top 3 positions. Watto is now close to within 0.8 of a second on Botched Gerbil. Botched is going to have to make a decision here whether he wants to press that hard tire compound and try to go the distance, or whether he wants to exercise the better part of valor. And Botched is going to dive into the pits. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a new race leader. Waddington comes up into P1. Calzoner's going to come up into P2. Rush's going to come up into P3. Ryan Hurricane's going to come into P4. Botched coming out of the pit lane now, looking to hold on to P5. And we have virtual safety car, and it looks like. Let's see if we can determine who may have come off. And Lowe has now gotten a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Time penalties are definitely going to become a factor here. And Lowe is out. Rush with 6 seconds of time penalties. He's going to need to hold out at least 1 second on Ryan Hurricane, and Ertica has been given a drive-through penalty for a virtual safety car violation. Taking a look at time penalties, Zola could potentially fall to XRL Mon. Mon in next to no danger from Fat Wardo, who's now 20 seconds behind. Smooth 38 seconds behind him. Jazilo 25 seconds behind him. Watto now having opened up a 5-second gap on Calzoner, but Watto also coming into pit, and we have a new race leader. Botched Gerbil has retaken the lead. Was definitely a very exciting turn of events as significant gap now opening up between Botched Gerbil and Watto was very quick to get back on the bubble and attempt to close that gap. Fat Watto's now received a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just 4 laps to go, and Fat Wardo is out. Not quite sure what happened. And XR Alman now has a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stay very close on this battle between Waddington, and we have the word from race control that DRS is now disabled. As this rain beginning to come down much harder, and we're seeing some wet spots now showing up on the track. So race control making the decision as a matter of safety to go ahead and disable DRS. With just 3 laps to go, Watto very calm, cool, and collected as he puts himself into a position to attack Botched Gerbil for pole. Watto now closing to 0.8 of a second on Watto. Looks like Botched may have gotten slightly held up by some lap traffic. Looks like the front end stepped out momentarily on Watto. Watto very quick to recover that and continue to put significant pressure on Botched Gerbil. Now 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go. Botched struggling to hold a gap on Watto's. We've seen that gap come down from 5 seconds to just over 6/10 of a second. It looks like Watto may be attempting to get a little bit of a run on Botched here, now closing to 5/10 of a second. Watto now closing that gap to 4/10 of a second. We have a yellow flag, sector 3. Oh, back end steps out there momentarily on Watto. That could be the potential mistake that just that puts a nail in the coffin for Watto to win this race. I've seen Watto come back from a lot of situations during his time in XRL. Ladies and gentlemen, as we now enter lap 33, this is going to be the lap that decides it all. Watto getting a nice little run out of the final turn. It's all dependent on what he does here that's going to determine who this race winner is going to be. As Botched struggling desperately to keep that gap on Watto. Fuel definitely starting to become a concern for Botched Gerbil as we see his dash rapidly blinking with the red light. We could see potential that he may run out of fuel here before this race is over. Watto in similar position. Watto's engaging overtake, trying to close that gap. That gap holding at 6/10 of a second as they make the move into Sector 3. What Botch does here in these closing stages is going to determine this. As we come into the final chicane, it looks like Botch Gerbil has got this one in the bag. And ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to our race winner, Botch Gerbil. Coming in P2 is going to be Waddington, Calzoner P3. Rush going to come in P4. Ryan Hurricane, as he comes around the final turn, is going to secure P5. Looking for Urtica, potentially P6, Zola P7, Mon P8, Smooth P9, Young Maneuver P10, Jazilo 11th, Beastian 12th, and Drawn Captain coming in 13th. Ladies and gentlemen, from start to finish, this has been an absolutely stellar race. At one point, we had a five-way battle for the lead between Botch, Gerbil, Waddington, and Calzoner, and Urtica crashing out before the line here. We're going to go ahead and try to get Botched, Waddington, and Calzoner in here to get their thoughts on the race. So we're going to try to get them in here. And Botched, if you could actually Botched Calzoner, if you could do me a favor and include your audio, please. All right, Botched, absolutely fabulous race tonight. Coming into these closing laps, what were your thoughts, especially with the challenges that you faced from Waddington this evening in the closing laps? Yeah, I know to. Oh, sorry, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, yeah. In the closing stages, the major concern in my mind was how far you were going to push that hard tire compound, especially with the rain coming down. But it appears that you did make the right call. Congratulations on the race win. All right, and moving on to Calzoner, if you'd like to include your audio, please. Gotcha. Now, in the closing stages of this race, what was your thought process? I saw that you had some significant battles with Waddington as well as Rush and Botched at one point. Well, what was going through your head at the midpoint and as you got into the closing stages of this? Yeah, Waddington's one of those drivers that if you don't get him in the initial stages, it's a hard sell. But congratulations on the podium position this evening. Indeed. It's a really good look, but great race tonight. All right, we're gonna see if we can get Waddington in here very briefly. And I think he may have already gone offline. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and wrap up tonight's broadcast of the Extreme Racing League's Extreme North America division. Again, congratulations to our race winner, Botch Gerbil. For those of you that this is your first time watching the Extreme Racing League's North America division, our races run Wednesday evenings in the United States at 9:30 p.m. Feel free to feel free to go ahead and give our Twitch channel a like and a follow, as well as our other social medias. And if you'd like more information or you're interested in racing in the Extreme Racing Leagues, feel free to check out the website at www.extremeleagues.com, which contains a link to our Discord server, where where our wonderful admin team and all our drivers will be more than happy to have you with us so we can have some more great races. That's going to be all for tonight. My name is XRL Steel, and thank you for tuning in.